Hey, welcome to today's episode. I am super excited that you are here. My name is Brandy Shaver and I am coming to you from Utah. And we are talking about how to get your perfect prospects begging you to get your products or to for them asking how they can get a hold of you and how to get a hold of in your team. So one of the main things that network marketers miss that I notice, and I did the same thing when building their business, is taking the time, oh, my phone's gonna flip over here, taking the time to dial in their perfect prospects. I went to go live, guys, and it won't work. So I don't know, it says I need to update Chrome. So we're like kind of just putting this together. Because I was like, I need to go live for sure. All right, so one of the main things that most networkers miss when building their businesses is to dial in their perfect prospects, to figure out who they are. Now, I get it. When we were all new, because I did this too, we fell into this problem. And it's not hard to figure it out, but you're not taught how to figure it out from the beginning. And so I wanted to share with you how to do that. So yeah, when you are joining me, pop in and tell me who you are, where you're coming in from so I can say hello. I see Joe and Hiroi. Is that how I say your name? Hi, Alex. Nice to have you on. We haven't chatted for a while. So when you don't have this dialed in, you're going to waste a ton of time and effort talking to the wrong kind of people, and you're not going to be getting the results that you want. And like I said, I have done this myself. So don't, feel like I'm like giving you a spanking or like this, because we have all done it. And the best example I know how to tell you that we've all done it is when we first get involved in our companies, right? That we want to share products and build a team in. We're told to go talk to those people that we know, our warm market, right? Well, here's the thing. And unless you're totally different from me and from a lot of my team members, my people that knew me, that know, like, and trust me, they're not really the entrepreneurial type. In fact, I got thinking about this the other day, and I'm going to tell you guys a little story about this, all right? Because this is pretty funny. But I got thinking about this the other day and how I got started inside of, being an entrepreneur. Well, there's really not any other entrepreneurs in my family. Like my grandfather runs a ranch, but he worked for the Rocky Mountain Power forever, Utah Power and Light forever and ever. He was a lineman. My dad was a lineman. My mom worked at the hospital. Like, I started to think about this, how I am kind of the black sheep. Have you guys ever felt like the black sheep? So I felt like I'm kind of a black sheep, and I've never really noticed. I think my head's just in the clouds as an entrepreneur, and I think differently. I've always thought differently. It wasn't that, I'm like raised any different, because my brothers have jobs, right? Like, they all are working. They all have, but they don't run their own businesses. And I've ran my own business since I was 18. And so it really started making me think about how I'm different. So here's the thing. Bringing this back to, how to get your perfect prospects begging you to get your products or to join your team. We got to be talking to the right people, right? You've got to find black sheep like me that are different, okay? That don't necessarily want a job or that want something different, right? Yeah, Susan, you're definitely the black sheep in your family too. And it's kind of funny because it got me thinking, thinking about my situation, my family a little bit and all the things. And it was just really funny to like put that together. I'm like the weird man out. And I didn't even realize it until I started thinking about this. Like, where does this entrepreneurial thing come from? So I had a conversation with my mom, and she said that, entrepreneurship runs in our family, that some of my ancestors were bank robbers and horse thieves, right? Well, that explains it. I come from a long line of bank robbers and horse thieves, and they are entrepreneurial. Obviously, they don't really have a boss, right? They're just gonna go do their thing. So here's the thing. You're gonna waste a ton of time talking to the wrong kind of people with little results. And so talking to people that aren't even interested in business, really, because if you think about it, the best way I know how to bring this across to you is that we, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we're trying to sell steak to vegetarians. Like, really, like if I walk across the street and I talk to my neighbor, which I've already done, about joining my business or doing what I do, she thinks I'm insane, right? Like she's like, I'm a vegetarian and here you're trying to hand me this prime rib roast, right? Like it just doesn't go together. So the thing is, when we're talking to our friends and family about our businesses and, maybe Uncle Dave that drinks beer all weekend and gets a government check, that's how he survives, that he's not going to join your business, right? Like there's, for some reason, we think he's a great candidate and he's not, right? So can you see how talking to the right kind of people are going to make a huge difference in your business, okay? So when I learned this, like this is one of the first things I learned when I came online is, that I was talking to the wrong kind of people, and who I really needed to be talking to were the black sheep like me, the weirdos, the strange people that want something different in their lives. And so here is what I want you to do, okay? So I'm gonna give you some homework, because if you can answer these 3 questions, it's gonna make a huge difference, right? Yeah, what about if your business offers a service as well? I would say the same thing. Alex, you have got to answer these 3 questions to understand how to get your perfect prospects begging you for your product or opportunity or service. That's the bottom line. You've got to answer these 3 questions, okay? And this is where I started. So I'm gonna give you these questions, and then I'm going to tell you how you can get more in-depth training on this, okay? So the 3 questions are, and I've got them written down here so I don't forget, because I get off on a tangent or a story or whatever, right? So number 1, what kind of people do you want to attract? Okay, now if you could choose, there's like 400 people in this room, let's say, right, in my office, and I've got 10 of them that are my perfect prospects, okay? So if I could choose, who would they be? What qualities do they need to be? What qualities do they have? Who are they? How old are they? What kind of people do I want to attract, all right? Because here's the thing, this game of like trying to gather everyone, it's a waste of your time, a total waste of your time. So stop doing it. Number 1 question, what kind of people do I want to attract? And I want you to, don't mind the door slamming. There's about 1 billion kids here going in and out, and they feel like they need to rattle the whole house when they move, shut the door. I don't know. Anyway, but if you heard that, it's really loud, right? So what kind of people do I want to attract? That's the first question. I want you to take some time. I want you to get out a notebook, like a notebook or a Evernote or whatever, and I want you to type it out. How old are they? Where do they live? Do they have kids? Do they have a job already? Like, who are these people? Who do I want to attract? Okay, what kind of people? Number 2, what are their biggest pains, problems, and fears? Pains, problems, and fears. And guys, this is gonna take a minute, right? Like, you're not just gonna be like, oh, well, my person is, maybe 30 to 45. She wants to lose weight. She's got a muffin top or whatever, right? Like, take some time, get detailed. What are the biggest pains, problems, and fears, okay? And one of the ones that really helps me is to ask myself, what keeps my perfect prospect up at night? All right, okay? Now, number 3, what are their biggest dreams and desires in life? All right, now when you get these 3 questions dialed in and you start to ask questions, or you post education and you're using these things in your, that you've written down, if you're talking to one person, like when I'm talking to, like, let's say I'm talking to Billy right now, right? Like, I am just like, because when I do a live, I'm talking to one of you. I don't necessarily like say, all the time, hey guys, like, how you doing? Like, how's everybody? You want to talk to one person, okay? One person. When you're talking to one person, and the best way I know how to tell you about how big of an impact this will make, have you ever read a post or watched a video and they're like, holy crap, Brandy's talking to me? Like, if you've ever done that, that person has done their job. They've done their research. What kind of people do I want to attract? What are the biggest pains, problems, and fears? What are their biggest dreams and desires in life, okay? You can do this around a product. You can do this around a service. You can do this around joining your team. You can do this as network marketing as a whole, all right? So that should give you a pretty clear idea of who you're looking for and how to talk to them. So every post you build from here on out is going to be meant for that person. Who do you want to attract? Now, I know this is like a lot, right? Like this got like a lot, because you guys are probably like, whoa, a lot, right? Like there's homework on a live. Like Brandy never does that, but I'm really passionate about this. Now, if you want more training on how to do this, I put a link up in the description, and in the description somewhere, wherever that is. But or it might be, you know, down below, just depending on where you're watching this on, what you're watching this on. But it's Beach Boss Influencers, thebeachbossinfluencers.com/invitation. Now we give more in-depth training on the island, and this is like a passion project of mine. So if you're not in there, like it is fun. Okay, that's the number one rule, is you have to have fun. But we have a ton of fun in there, and we train basically how we train our team and how to get results, and how all of us together have collectively done way over 7 figures. So it's a great place to be. So anyway, grab the link, get into the island, get on the island. You're gonna love it. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, it's a passion project of mine. So grab it. We'll see you next time. And if you got a ton of value, go ahead and you can give this to someone else that might need to know this stuff. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you